Hey guys, welcome back. I just thought I would do a quick video update on XXII for you. Excuse me, XXII for you, just to see where we're kind of at after today. If you look at the daily chart here, you can see it's still kind of continuing that downtrend that we've been seeing today. It had a bit of recovery a little bit from where we were at the bottom of this candle, but it still technically is below where this red candle was yesterday. So I'm still thinking that it's going to dip some more again tomorrow. And I still don't really want to change my range down here of 241 to 226. It just doesn't seem like it reversed and bounced up as hard as it should have today. If it was going to really keep going, I think it would have been pretty easy to stay steady with this candle from yesterday. But it seems to be having a lot of trouble doing that. And if you look still at the stochastic momentum, it's still kind of down. It's tapering off a little bit, right? But we're still definitely in a downtrend on there. The Chan is still dipping even harder here today. And the MACD also is still well within the beginning of its sell signal lines. And these bars at the bottom are getting bigger, so it's probably going to continue that way. And again, our support is way down here. So I mean, we had a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of price rejection, but nothing as hard as I would like to see. I really would like to see another green candle today, or at least us test the top of the blue line, but we couldn't even get high enough to test the top of the blue line. And it again is just hanging around 270, 272 or so, not really doing much. Psychologically, I think people are going to start getting bored, and they may end up pulling out even more tomorrow. We'll just have to see. We're still technically on a positive trend from 26 periods ago, but again, that's going to very quickly change if this starts going down some more, and we're very easily going to be back at these prices that we saw back here at the end of August. But let's pull up the 60-minute chart and see how it performed on that. And again here, you can see why I think that it might still go down some more tomorrow. We ended with a pretty nice green candle, but as you can see, it went back down to 271 in after hours. And again, I think it doesn't have enough strength to get through this cloud right now. So I think most likely we are going to see around 268 of a close tomorrow if it doesn't dip too hard. And we may even dip down again still around 263 and maybe possibly 258 as well. I hate to keep saying that it's going to go down and everything. I want to be really bullish on the stock, but there just hasn't been enough pressure and buying pressure to keep it going. And as you can see here, it's just hanging out in this zone in between the lines, and our blue line isn't really getting that much farther away, even on the 60-minute here. So we did get a bit of a buy signal though, right here on the stochastic momentum today. And again on the Chan it's going up as well. And the MACD is inching closer. So it is possible that those continue into the morning tomorrow. But again, I'm really worried because of right here, we just now touched this resistance cloud today. And I really don't know if it's going to bust through it or bounce below it. But with all the lack of price movement, and with the lack of buying pressure, I just don't see how it could possibly bust through it right now. I would love to be wrong, but again, I mean, we're testing below the blue line this whole time, and we're just now barely testing above it now, but we're still dipped. We still dipped down below to the red here. So we didn't dip below it very much, which is good, but we did a little bit, which signifies that it might want to try to do that some more. But let's zoom a little on the 30-minute. Yeah, and again here, we had our sell signal inside the resistance cloud. Red line staying pretty flat, but again, it couldn't really bust out of this cloud today. And I really thought if it was going to, it would be today because of how big this candle was here. As you can see, it looked like it might bust out of the cloud again today, but instead, it dipped really hard. And it's just been consolidating and losing all day until the very end with the last little spike at the end of the day. So again, it's a really tough situation. It'll be interesting to see what happens when it gets out of the cloud, but as of right now, it looks like it's going to hang around 268 tomorrow. And I honestly think we may see dips down to 263 as well. So that's going to be pretty much my range for tomorrow for you guys, is 268 to 263. And if a lot of selling pressure happens though below 270, you know, it could start doing those dips down to the 240 range that I was talking about here. Because remember, we have this huge gapped candle right here with a lot of nothing around it. Like, we technically dropped really hard here, filled it up, right, with this cup and handle type situation, but it hasn't been able to hold all of this handle all the way. I mean, we've dipped halfway through this, but there's still a bit more that it could definitely do. And I'm really worried about seeing a triple bottom here again, just because of the lack of pressure and everything. But again, I mean, we're getting stronger signals on the 60-minute and the 30, possibly turning into buys. But tomorrow's going to be really important when it's escaping this cloud on the 30-minute to see what happens. We can do a quick fib here, but again, we'll just see if it's breaking this downtrend enough to really test it. We'll go here from this peak. All right. So yeah, you can even see it here on this fib arc, or this fib fan. This is the main trend that it's been going on. So it's trying to get away from this trend, but if you look still, it's still getting caught right here. So again, tomorrow when it's trying to bust out through that resistance cloud and everything, keep a really close eye on it, because if it starts dipping below and gets back in here, it very easily could start going back on a downtrend again. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that there's not a chance it won't go up. It just seems like the buying pressure just hasn't been there yet. And again, if we follow this to this peak here, if this was the trend of escape right here, it's so extreme that it hasn't held, and we dip below it today. So dipping below this trend of escape is not very nice to see, and it's really going to be a test tomorrow to see if it can bust out and try to work its way back up to this trend right here. So just keep a really close eye on it. Be prepared to see around 263, maybe even possibly 259, 258. But I'm really hoping that you guys can close around 268 tomorrow and not dip too hard and just kind of keep consolidating. But again, my range that I'm looking to buy at to hop back in would be around 242 to 226, something in there. But we're just going to have to see what happens again tomorrow. Again, it's still on an uptrend, escaping here, but this little dump right here was not very good to see. Let's just hope this price rejection is enough and we can continue building off this candle. Alright guys, well I hope that was helpful. Again, I don't want to be bearish on this. I just also don't want to tell people to buy and then they accidentally get in right before a bit more of a dump. So just keep your wits about you. You know, don't chase it. Don't catch a falling knife. Look for a nice price rejection somewhere and some really nice support to happen. But again, keep a really close eye on those resistance clouds and see what happens tomorrow, guys. Alright, have a good one.